Hello, this is Invite the Light, coming to you with a reading on Kim and Kourtney Kardashian. I think many of us were surprised that Kim and Kourtney got into such a fight. Like, some of us don't follow the show heavily, but we're still we're still tied in with Kim and Kourtney. So I want to take a look and see what's going on, and hopefully the ladies will be able to reconcile here. So this is Kim's point of view. Kim really has a lot to say, but Kim is also very, very busy. She's, there's a lot going on for her. But she likes it that way. And she's also, seems to me, she's also quite organized, though. She manages to get these all of these engagements and everything that she has to do and balance them with her family and travel. She actually does that really well. But in this situation, she has a lot to say. Kourtney, her point of view also, again, is just basically what she has said, home life, children, just really a bit of the slower life. So there's no real problem here between their general points of view. Kourtney clearly likes the slower life, Kim is like fast travel, everything. So it's just a little bit different here. So what I want to do is actually ask about Kim's opinion of the situation. There are actually two cards that want to come out. Kim is really, she's super, as you can see here, there's the Nine of Pentacles, or maybe you can't see. Let's see if I can move you in a little further. There's the Nine of Pentacles. I'm sorry about this, a little bit of disorder here. Kim is and has always been an independent, sort of like moneymaker, businesswoman. She does at the same time very much so enjoy life. She does at the same time very much so also enjoy like quietude a bit. And right now she's really kind of, to me, looking at her legacy. She's looking at building, and bringing in her, the fruits of her labor, over a long period of time. So she's balancing that with also being a mother, even though this card typically represents a more single woman. Okay, so she feels super overburdened, and she feels like that for a long time. So I really feel like, and that's even reflected in this card here. I think for a really long period of time, there's been like a bit of idleness with the businesses that the Kardashians share. Kim's handling a lot of burdens, a lot. I think it's not only with her and Kourtney, but with the family, but primarily with Kourtney. The main point is just what's said over TV. Like, I think she just feels like she's been carrying a lot. Kourtney brings value. I think, them being all together as a family, it brings value. It brings a little more attention. I think it's not that Kim couldn't have her own show or Khloe, but yeah, I mean, it's just better that way. I think she thinks in her mind, but Kim has had to take on a lot of burdens. And I feel like even to a certain extent, some of these burdens she's had to take on where she feels like her sister or maybe other people, but primarily Kourtney, I think, where she's had to really, really carry the burden and the brunt of a lot of responsibility that should be a little more shared, has cut her off from time that she could have like with her marriage. This is what I feel personally. It could be marriage or family or something to that extent. And, I mean, the family itself, her interest is for everyone to have wealth. She enjoys that. She'd love to continue to build an empire together. But I think she's a little bit at the breaking point here, Also because she has 3 children and they just need more attention. And also because her husband is very, very busy himself. The schedule is tight and she's probably trying to as well take care of that. So let me just read into this just a little bit more, see what else is going on. I think that Kim might have said something in the past a little bit. I feel like she's kind of been a little, according to these cards to me, a little bit underappreciated, even a little bit attacked within her family situation for the level of work that she does. I just really, though I don't know these people, what I'm saying in the cards is I really feel like she's been carrying the brunt of everything, probably basically from the beginning. And it's not to say no one else does work. And it's not to say I reinforce what Kim has said herself to Kourtney. So I won't get involved in that too much, at least in this 5 minutes. But it seems like, because she's always done that and because she's had this big lesson or tolerance for handling a lot of work and taking up the brunt of stuff, that now that she's kind of getting a little fatigued of it, she's finding that even asking for help with certain things, she has to become very defensive, and she's been upset about it. I think, she loses a lot of sleep, but I think that her really trying to communicate this, she's been holding it in for a while, I think. Let's see. Hold on one second here. I feel like it's because it's due to some sort of family obligation that she's felt, some sort of family culture and dynamic. I know with the Kardashians as well. I mean, they've had their arguments, but it also feels like, at times they really try to hold back and from communicating sort of like really tense things. I mean, I could be wrong because I don't watch many of the shows, but I've seen quite a few, and some of you probably be like, you haven't seen Shiat if you're saying that. So, just hold space for me on this. But I do feel like overall in general, like for instance with Kris, she tries to hold back the things that are stressful. It always seems to me like, especially with the situation with Bruce transitioning over to Caitlyn, and the misunderstanding that Kim had because Kris doesn't want to burden her children with her problems. So I kind of feel like it's the same thing. It's kind of this family dynamic where I do believe that they try not to complain to each other. Of course, they have had their fights and things like that, but I do believe, I feel like Kim has been suffering silently a bit. That's what I really feel like. I feel like she's also feels just slightly trapped in communicating that as well. There are also things that she wants to do. But this has been like a really big mental burden for her, just communicating this. Like, I really want you guys to just take over a little bit more with our businesses, or I want to get rid of them, and that looks like where she might possibly be moving. Like, I know that they had considered getting rid of Dash business a while ago, but I think that, she's just kind of like in her own mind, maybe like, listen, I mean, I'm in a partnership. I'm a businesswoman. I'm a successful businesswoman. I've been doing business for years. I've been successful at it for years. And now I know I may not have partners who have the same schedule as I do, or who have the same work ethic that I do. And that is really huge. And I don't want that to also get in the way of my family. But I think she's also thinking about her personal schedule and her personal mental real estate. This is really disturbing to her. So she's trying to figure out a way how to let this go. And I mean, in her heart of hearts, to me, she really wants to just drop everything. She wants to get rid of the businesses that she shares, perhaps with her sister, if anything is left there. There are a couple of other things with her family that the work distribution is not even, and she's carrying a lot of load on her own back because she has her own children and her own husband, and there may be some things going on there just a little bit too. And she's busy on both fronts. She's trying to really hold everything together, everything. So there could be some things going on at home. And I think, with these two cards, I think it's not what you guys think, like a problems with Kanye or whatever, like what we would just fast forward to in our own minds. Oh, Kanye's being difficult or something like that. Love you, Kanye, not say anything toward you. But I don't think it's that. I also feel like, Kim may be trying to reevaluate herself, her place as far as fame is concerned. She may feel like she's trying to define herself maybe at the next level now. Like, how do I really want to show up? Do I even want to do a reality show? I'm wondering. That may or may not be true for her, but that as an example, like, for her path forward, how does she really want to tie up her legacy? Where does she really want to kind of take things, because she's had this fame for a while. And I think, she's a little disillusioned with it, or it could be as well that, Kourtney, according to, this resonates with Kourtney, the fame thing has been great for them. It's brought in really great prosperity for them. But Kourtney's a little bit confused, disillusioned, and a little tired about it. And there's, in the midst of all of this, because everyone's schedule is so busy, I don't feel like Kim and Kourtney and Khloe and everyone is talking and communicating as much as we feel they may be, or, on that show they have. Because I feel like, maybe they shoot for a couple of months and they shoot at Kim's, at Kourtney's house, and they all shoot at Khloe's, and then they shoot at their mom's, and then they shoot a little out, and it feels like they're always involved with each other, but they very well may not be. They may be shooting for 3 months a year, and then for the rest of the time, they're seeing each other every other month or something like that one time. So I do feel like a real sense of this is, if Kim were listening to this, Kim would probably, and even just based on the thing that I saw, I mean, I'm about to suggest that they really, really set aside time to really communicate as a family on their shared projects, like each at least once a month on a phone call, or once every 6 to 8 weeks. Now, because Kim is already having a scheduling problem with everyone, that might not seem like the answer, but that's what the real answer is as far as this all is concerned. So I'm going to move Kim over just a bit. I feel a little sorry for Kim looking at all this here. I don't see any superficial nonsense and BS. I feel her a little stuck in family obligation, due to family cultural, like family culture, family religion, let's say. And so let's see what's going on with Kourtney over here. So what's going on with Kourtney? All right, so these two cards came up. All right. I'm going to be quite honest. It's true as far as the cards are saying. Kourtney is, of course, a little more idle. She's taking care of her children. I feel like her communication here with this Five of Swords is really, really rough. Overall, Kourtney is a loving person. She's overall a good person. So I'm not going to bash Kourtney or anything. I mean, and I think she's thinking about big communication about her family structure, but I do really feel there's a level of idleness with her. It may be because of this communication, she may decide to do a few things, but I feel like she still has a little bit of a longer timeline in order to be accountable. What I really see here is kind of reaping the rewards of, the work somebody else is doing, the PR, the fame. And I'm really not trying to be disrespectful to her, because if she were to be watching this video by chance or whatever, I wouldn't want her to feel attacked, but I mean, based on what's being shown here, like, she's just relaxing as well. She likes her lifestyle, it's pretty laid back, but it's lush at the same time. And yeah, yeah, okay. What's going on here? So, I feel like there may be possible that, this discussion has provided her with either, just ending. I feel like, I saw somewhere that she's decided to end being on the show, and it's going to affect her money like big time. Right now she's maybe feeling a little victorious, and also kind of in a way enjoying the press, and also feeling like she's temporarily won this argument, but I do feel like there's some male there. I don't know if this is like Scott or her new boyfriend. There's a male fire sign there. And it just feels like, yeah, I mean, but she feels really happy. She feels really free now, but I'm not sure that she's really looked at the whole picture here. And as far as how this is going to affect her income going forward adversely. And, that she feels like with her words or whatever she said, even though we were showing Kim being, really quite very, very ruthlessly straightforward, it seems like that's coming from a place like a deep well, like something that's just been building and building for years, according to this reading, and just according to the depth of her anger. But Kourtney, just feels like I can't be so bothered with this or whatever. And, once these girls do kind of decide to kind of walk away from the business, and they may actually just announce that may be what this is, announcing the breakup of the stores or shared companies. I don't know if they've already sold Dash or whatever. Things do end as far as her salary is concerned. But for right now, she's kind of looking at everything through the eyes of a child. She feels free and happy. I think she's enjoying her life with her boyfriend here. So let me just see, like, who is this King of Wands? I feel like this may be more so Scott, and I feel like if it is Scott, then he's actually coming in to call Kourtney out just a little bit, big time. If this is her boyfriend, then I feel like her new boyfriend, he introduces a lot of confusion. Now that she's free, I feel like if I look at it that way, she kind of wants to be free from the show in order to have a little more time with him to travel or whatever, or be with him a lot more. But it seems like, to be quite honest, like maybe perhaps he would come up with like excuses or that there just may authentically be like scheduling conflicts so that she can't travel to him or whatever. He's going to be very, very busy. And this is the more free time she has, she may really be like spying on his social media, trying to find out what's going on with him and all this. I feel like she's trying to do whatever she can do to maintain this relationship. I feel like there are already a lot of factors there that try to pull this thing apart. I also feel like she finds herself defending herself, but I feel like in this case that she honestly, like her tongue, her tone of voice, everything is, it's a bit cutting. And I think it does back up and reinforce what Chris was saying. Like, you have this way of like rubbing people the wrong way. And it's okay, like, Kourtney, if for whatever reason you're kind of, this is something you can change because everyone knows you're nice, and that's the reason why they want you to come to the Christmas shoot. They do love you, so they don't think of you as this awful person. And they, whatever issues you personally have with them for years, they've put up with because they love you and they value you. So it's nothing to really like feel attacked about here. Let's see what's going on. I feel like this relationship somehow that she is in with this guy, somehow is it severely codependent? I feel like previously she was so used to being like with Scott, but even though Scott kind of had his drama, it still was even more of a healthier relationship than what she's in right now. I feel like she's kind of hooked on the lovemaking. I don't really want to read into that too much, but that could be one. The cards give a lot of different messages, and sometimes you have to clarify them. But out of respect for her privacy, I'm not going to clarify it to see that. I'm just going to name it as a possibility. So we'll leave it there. And I feel like, Kourtney, like her participation is exactly what's been, there's just been a storm a brewing for a really long time because there's no real participation. It's almost like sitting pretty here, And as I see these cards, it kind of makes sense to me what Kim was saying. And again, I'm not saying what Kim said, the way that she said things was right. But I feel like as a mom, as a businesswoman now, especially as a businesswoman where money comes in and your time really needs to be respected. I don't feel like the years she feels that her time was respected, and I don't feel like she stayed in victim mode or tried to build this up and walked around saying my time isn't being respected. But I think she's just at her breaking point with like, I can't handle all this stuff, especially the shared family stuff. I will do my own thing because I now have my own kids and I want to be with my husband a little bit more because this is where I draw my life and energy from. All these things. I can't keep carrying stuff while somebody's, sitting pretty. And I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but that's what these cards say. Sitting pretty. Accepting the efforts of other people and being a little bit ungrateful, turning people off, but having the wherewithal and promise to be someone nice and amazing, like you are, Kourtney is loved. Kourtney is very much so loved, she's very much so loved and liked. But she's still in kid mode here, and I'm not trying to be disrespectful. Still, and I don't think that she's going to learn this lesson yet until her money gets funny after this. So she quit the show, and it just looks funky. And the situation with this new boyfriend of hers, or newer, I really do think it's definitely, there's a lot. I don't want to say it's sex based, but I kind of at the same time I don't see any real love here. But it's definitely, there's a good foundation of sex, satisfying sex, I think, or maybe possibly not. I don't know. Or maybe that's not important for us to really know. But she could also have her hormones. This could be a very sexual period in her life as well. I'm not exactly sure, but that's one of the things the cards say could be a possibility. But how is this situation with her boyfriend? I feel like she feels happy. She feels very straightforward with him, but there's some kind of imbalance that she's not seeing or acknowledging. She could be losing, their relationship could be, she could be losing with the fact that he has to travel a lot. And I feel like she's asked him not to travel so much. It's very strange. And there's a chance, I feel like there's a chance she might get a marriage proposal or some kind of proposal or want to propose something. And it's going to be very, very media based, and she probably would sell the pictures for a lot of money. And she is looking at, oh, here's the Empress. I was going to say there's a possibility that she might become pregnant really quickly or something in order to maintain this relationship. I feel like her partner, he waxes and wanes between mature and immature, and his money goes up and down as well. He still has a lot of plans in the world. I don't think that he wants to settle down. He wants to travel, travel, travel. Okay, but it seems to me that he is happy with her. Although there could be some dubious things going on when he's on the road. I'm not sure that... let's ask where this relationship is going. I know it feels like I'm maybe going off course here, but I'm just trying to see if there are any underlying issues that are driving this, continuing to drive her decisions here. I feel like she's in love, but I feel like he's a little immature. But he does admire her and her sweet spirit. And there's something within each other that does keep them, but I don't know that the relationship could sustain itself. You know what I mean? Like, they do like each other mutually, but I'm not sure what the maturity or lack of maturity factors that, and the money, the up and down money, and the obligations to travel, I'm not sure that the relationship could sustain itself. So that remains to be seen. Now, let me just go back. So it just really seems to me, just to recap, like this is Kim's life. It's just, I don't think it's anything personal. It's just a real business life, businesswoman. She wants to really include her family. Some of that has included really bearing the burden of a lot of people. And now she kind of can't afford to do that because she kind of has kids. She wants to be really, really conservative on her schedule because she has a lot of businesses she still wants to run. She's a wife with a husband who's really, really busy. So she'll probably want to be flying out to him every once in a while and have the children together, and then also handle her own businesses and her own travel obligations. So she doesn't have time to carry anybody or take on any role that other people are slacking on. And this Kourtney is very much to me like a homebody, doesn't like to travel a lot, and it's okay. Definitely is really, really comfortable and cush in her lifestyle. Yeah. And then what I saw was later on, she may be getting news that, well, she gave news that she was going to end off the show apparently, and that causes her to lose a lot of money. But for now she feels really happy because she's kind of focused on this young boyfriend that she has, and this satisfying sexual life that she seems to have. And then the Ace of Wands as well. I feel like she could be getting news that, the sisters decide to end Dash, or they want to buy her out or something like that. So her money, I don't feel like she's taking a look at the long game here. And so I feel like her money is going to be, the situation is going to be creeping up on her. I want to lay these back out actually really quickly because I want to see what Kourtney, I was asking about Kourtney and I got the gossip card. So, I mean, we know as well. To me, it says that she's doing a lot of talking with her friends instead of like a little more proactive stuff. She could even do an interview, a paid interview. I kind of feel like she wouldn't do that. She wouldn't. I feel, yeah. I don't know what I'm doing with these cards. I kind of can't remember now at this point where they were. All right, so yeah, I've got gossip with her. So this is shadow aspect, and then for Kim, just want to see what kind of energy is Kim in. Kim's lover. So I do feel like, and it fell right on top of these cards. Kim's really in her element, you know, kudos to Kim. I mean, Kim really seems like she really has her shit together in so many ways. It's not to put Kourtney down or anything, but we like to think, you know, some people like to think of Kim as just selfie whore. And I'm not talking about whore, but, you know, a person likes to take a lot of selfies and, oh, look at my ass and all this. Clearly she likes to do that. But Kim, you know, she's smart. She's, you know, she's a shrewd businesswoman and she thrives in this. She loves this. I don't even see anything about fame over here until this. And this is because she's trying to reevaluate what she wants in life, how she wants to be seen. I think she's reevaluating probably the whole thing, like, as far as, you know, maybe right about now when I'm doing this, because this argument has come out and it feels like, unfortunately, the sisters are close. We know how it is. People love each other and they have fights all the time, you know, but they still love each other. You know, they definitely, Kim definitely wants to heal this situation. Kourtney's in gossip and, you know, I think just sort of in this cycle of complaining to her friends. I could look that up a little bit more or whatever. I think Kourtney's also paying attention to, she's paying attention to the tabloids or whatever, to the media a lot. But I feel like with that conversation, or that really, you know, Kim really going in with that comment about her being like the least interesting to look at or whatever. I think that feels like that affects her because everyone else in the family is hugely in the spotlight, with the exception of her, which doesn't lessen her, you know, but I do feel like she is feeling a bit of that within this gossip card. You know, so this is very interesting. The guide card came up. They may have like a family intervention. I almost put that there, but it was meant to go here. I feel like they may have a family intervention. I feel like their father also, it's very interesting. I feel like their father is energetically kind of coming through and sending energy to them as well. Chloe, probably to Chloe the most, I think it feels like, to a certain extent, for Chloe to kind of be the bridge between these two ladies. Let's see what else is going on with Kim. Kim may be addicted to work. I wonder what that's about. There's an addict there, or, you know, addicted to really, at this point, pushing out a lot of drama. There could be some emotional stuff that she's holding down as well. I don't think it's any kind of like drug addiction or anything like that. I immediately think it's like she's super addicted to work and addicted to a form of fame. And then for Kourtney, vampire comes up. So it just feels like, you know, this is a rough reading for Kourtney. It just really feels like, you know, on the lighter attributes of this card, that just Kourtney needs to just pick up her ends. That's all. She just needs to pick up the pace a little bit. And even if she has children and things like that, she should just match her commitments and her ownership to the fact, you know, whatever it takes for her to be a mother. So she owns Dash and she has to do spreadsheets and whatever, you know, whatever she has to do at this point, she may have to step up and be like, you know what? I want to sell a little bit more of my partnership because I don't want to commit to 30 hours a month of working. I'm really focused on being a mom, but I still want to bring in income. I still want to contribute. So that's where it's looking like she needs to just. It's very funny because but there's just this level of monetary immaturity here, and just business savvy. I'm not trying to be disrespectful to her because she's successful in her own right, but that's what's coming out. Like if you're watching this and you just wanted to get like raw feedback that you could fix easily. And I mean, if you wanted to just go in and do what you needed to do, I mean, you're going to be set, totally set, fame will continue. You'll be totally set and you still don't have to, so Kim is, I mean, with the Midas and Miser card as well, she just, to me, like there's this addiction to stacking her chips, saving her money, but also where I see the Miser, because this is the Midas card, she's very wealthy, obviously, the Midas card, but the Miser side of it, she's, I don't see it as a negative thing, even though this Addict card is here. I see this as her really wanting to be miserly with her time schedule and how much of a spectrum of her work. Like her spectrum needs to be really focused. Like I said, she doesn't need to be like including herself in Kourtney, for Kourtney. All right. So I think that Kim, there's a prostitute. Don't anybody laugh because it's not exactly what you think. And there's the priest card. So I just really feel like with Kim sort of having had children, this is her third child. I feel like it's coming to her slowly again, how she wants to reevaluate herself, how she's showing up in the public eye. And then, she did that really great humanitarian effort, I guess you could call it. And she was able to get the woman from Tennessee, I forget what her name is, maybe Gloria, not sure, but the woman from Tennessee pardoned by the president. And so, she's not fully clear on how to make this transition, but she does want to see how these cards kind of landed and the star card landed over the priest. She wants to be seen in more of a good, let's say, I'm not saying bad because I don't want to use the word good, but I did. But she wants to be seen in more of a straightforward light, let's see. She doesn't want to be so easily seen famously as not being taken seriously. I think she wants to do a lot more things, It will at least start with her business and stuff like that, but she's trying to reevaluate that. I think she's trying to move out of this whole material. The prostitute thing is not a prostitute thing. For me, it strikes me as money. So what the attribute is accentuates the challenge of surviving without negotiating the power of your spirit. Okay, so she's thriving over here. I feel like she's dealing with this addiction. She had maybe an addiction to fame in the past. And there's a possibility that she recognizes that maybe a little bit with her and Kanye. Kanye doesn't come up in here, really. But, Lover, she loves her life. She loves the business. She loves it. I don't even really necessarily see her children or whatever, but it's indirectly in here, but she's got such big energy. Me would be coming forward. Me and what I deal with would be coming forward. So in any case, she is trying to figure out, I think, how to transition over time. And that may include actually shutting this show down, building up her own businesses and shutting the show down. She wants to bring stuff to a finish as well, because she feels like it's slowing her down, but she sat up a lot at night. So, I see. She could, she's battling this addiction, or the comforts of feeling in the public eye. Like this show provides her with that. And she's wondering if she does let it go, which she's probably been thinking about for a really long time now. She's tired of it, on some level. She's tired of it. And she's just wondering, how do I also maintain my level of celebrity, do what I want to do, be who I want to be with the amount of, let's say, stardom. I don't see her as like a star whore or something, but I see her as definitely wanting to be in the spotlight, and for people, it gets to the point where it's not like, I need your attention, but it's more like, I makes my soul sing to be at the forefront. Okay, and that's where I think she's honestly coming from. But she's struggling with some past addictions, like celebrity did feed her a little bit. Like, we kind of know that, like the pictures that she takes, and it feels like there's a level of needing, really wanting attention there. I'm not trying to say she's an attention whore, but there's, on some level, there's something there about wanting and needing that sort of validation. So I feel like she's kind of growing out of it a bit, or at least slowly or subconsciously, and trying to figure out her way. And it's been a little difficult for her. I think she goes back and forth. But, if she decides to have another baby, a fourth child, which she actually may find herself actually pregnant, and she's trying to figure out what she wants to do about this pregnancy. But this fourth will be the thing that carries her over from this energy of this card here over into the priest card. All right, because she is making major transformations, but she does find it difficult. So I'm wondering, what about her and Kanye? And then I'm gonna let this go so long. Oh my God. Right now, it feels like, I think she doesn't get to travel as much as she wants to, and it's really disappointing. What is their relationship like, though? I don't see anything here for them right now. I feel like they've been separated. They've been feeling separated, and not having a chance to really catch up the way they need to as a couple, as a loving couple, and they're now kind of coming out of that. So I think she's really wanting to take charge of her schedule now. She wants to see her husband a lot more. It's very interesting, though. There's no information really coming up on their relationship, so it's private. If you guys know my channel, I say, like, if I can't just get the answer with a little bit of a general question, then that kind of means that I'm not going to delve into going into people's energy looking for an answer. I don't do that, especially celebrity readings. I definitely won't do that. Yeah, there's a lot that she wants to do, and at the same time, there may be a lot that she can't do. So I'm going to leave it there. It looks like, for the most part, this reading has just reflected basically everything that has been going on with Kim and Kourtney that they've said, and I think that, I feel like they have realized, Kim wants to reach out and heal this. And I think the only way to do it again is they're going to either have some intervention going, like professional intervention, or, let's just see what is, excuse me. All right, let me just see if I can. Yeah, there's grief there. I don't think either one of them feel really comfortable. To me, it feels really a lot more like Kim, like, especially there's a lot of grief there regarding this. she wants something from her sister, you know. And again, so it looks like Kim, like her self-esteem card here. Kim gets a lot of her self-esteem and her reinforcement, like from her relationship with her family and from the public a bit. She has her own too. I'm not going to make it seem like that, but you know, and her friends and family are people who are really, really close. And I think she doesn't feel like a good person for the things that she said. So I think this has affected her deeply, more than we will probably know. Even though right now, really, they're kind of at each other's throats just a little bit. But maybe after, I think I saw like a last tweet where she said, Kourtney and I will always be good. And I'm sure we all know that, like, you guys are family, it's going to be fine, whether it's the end of the year or you guys make up or what. Let's see what's going on with Kourtney. Her energy. All right, well, these cards did want to come out. Acceptance, relationships, and purpose. I feel like her acceptance, though, based on these cards as well, is just kind of accepting things how they are, being very passive about these relationships, and the purpose. Let me just make sure I'm being fair on this. Kourtney. There's patience, courage. I kind of wanted to escape. Balance and imagination. Again, patience card is like she is really slow out of stuff. I mean, with the courage, she's got. I think this is a time to call for her to have courage to really honor a little bit more in her immediate relationships, and her purpose needs some balance, is calling for some balance, And I think if she just used her imagination, like it says, and just listen to what's going on really, truly in her heart, she would find, what she would like to do. This is very interesting. So, yeah. All right. So I'm going to hit a card for Kim. Might as well make this a nice, healthy 50-minute video. Why the hell not? Or more. So here I got obstacles and blocks are lifted with do the work over it. So it's like, Kourtney, if you do the work, the obstacles and the blocks are lifted. So you may have obstacles and blocks like with your sister, but there are also going to be some authentic financial blocks as well. So, she's going to have to come out of this mode, and she's going to have to come out of kid mode, like her freedom. She's got to figure it out soon, because I feel like her money is a little on a low side, or just her spending ability or something, or it will be. So she's got that. Just do the work. And it says it's not enough to dream or pray. You've also got to take the positive action steps that you are being divinely guided to take. Consistently working on your priorities will make you flourish like a lush flower garden. All of your good personal work, this is with obstacles and blocks, all of your good personal work and your positive energy shift have overcome previous obstacles and blocks are lifted away. You will now experience progress and forward movement with your projects. Stay centered in gratitude to ensure that your flow of abundance continues. So it feels like to walk away from the show and walk away, maybe based on the cards, on shared responsibilities that will lead to the closing of shared businesses. They're definitely calling for her to do the work here. So let's see what's going on with Kim for her abundance cards here. All right, Kim got block out distractions. Oof. So, and it lands right over this whole thing about her managing her life, balancing her life with her time. Her time is like the biggest thing that will bring her happiness, because it's the very thing that allows her to travel and spend time with her husband while also balancing these businesses, while also really enjoying her life as a mom. All right. And it's just getting to the point, like I said before, it's getting to the point where she's like, ugh, you know? So let's see if we can pull one more. And I'll read this card actually. All right. The God is your source wanted to come out. I tried to ignore it a bit because I know people, sometimes don't believe in God. I did try to ignore it. It wanted to come out before, so I'm not going to ignore it this time. But I'm going to read the block out distractions card for Kim. And here it is. Your life purpose and other priorities need your undivided attention. So it's time for you to take charge of your schedule and working environment by turning off electronics, avoiding anyone or anything that distracts you from what's important. You already know what these distractions are, and you have the power to responsibly block them out. That is for you, Kim. Okay. God is your source, Kim. And it may not be for you, God, but it may be source creation. It may be that one belief. It may be your higher self, divine alignment, maintain business together, and also be able to come to a very cordial way of really just honoring each other and each other's time evenly as well. Okay. So I feel like that's that. But Kim, I feel like going through a lot feels like there's a little favoritism, but I really do, looking at Kim's cards, I do feel for her a little bit. So I'm going to pull a chakra card for you, Kim. It's meditation that comes up. So I really do see in this card as well, there are some mental blocks that you have, this staying up at night, this worrying, this being upset, either at the words other people have said when you're trying to discuss your focus, outlook, where you want to be, what you want to do. I feel like you even have some of your team, it's a little bit cheeky and a little bit uncooperative. And it feels overwhelming. Like you don't have time to fire them. You don't have time to really get nasty with them because you want to just keep the wheels moving. Well, what's happening here is that basically your internal world, Kim, is what's going to reflect on the outside. So if you are really affirming, that you can have these things in equilibrium, peace, accordance, harmony within my staff, acknowledgement of my vision and what I want to do. Those type of things, like really affirming that in the morning before you get out. And I know that you have 3 children, so this is difficult, but you can even get yourself like the 5-minute journal. You can just order that online. And if you can get 15 minutes to yourself, Kim, or 20 minutes to yourself, and just really center what your day is going to look like, how people are going to process your transactions and outlooks and things like that. And that there will be people who will carry the burden for you as well. There will be people. I also feel like, kind of sidebar, the Kanye isn't here because of some of the unhealthy trends with which you have been carrying the burden for other people. This is the hit I get. I think that's caused just a slight, it's not irreparable or anything like that, but just a slight disconnect. Like, okay, I'm going to keep hands off. That is her family. I'm not going to say anything about this, but I'm not going to put myself in these situations so I get triggered, feel like that. I feel like maybe that's been brought up to you. It hurts other people to see you like that, or maybe has upset him just a little bit. Now, he loves your family though, so I don't want to get confused, but seeing you overwork may upset him, but you have like shut him down on that. So I feel like he's just backed off. I do believe that there's, I'm not looking at cards. I don't even see you guys showing up. That's why I'm going to pull some of these and see what they say, but I'm not going to dig any further than that. Oh my God, we're going into an hour. Yeah, I mean, as far as the love, romance angel cards are concerned, they're saying make the effort. So definitely, to me, like you making and carving out time for your husband, you healing family issues. All right. And let's see. I also see the honeymoon card wanting to pop out. I just feel like also as well, there's a small bit of healing. My darling Kim, okay, and I'm not trying to again be like biased here, but I'm looking at these cards and I'm actually feeling something. Your children are small, but you can give them a little bit of responsibility. You don't have to do everything, because you know what? You're coming open at the seams emotionally and going to be burnt out. This is not your obligation. And I kind of see this as a trend, like your mom. Be aware of this. Your mom also does this as well, suffering in silence. I really believe and love her resilience in not wanting to burden her children. I feel like she's passed that on to you, and it's a great quality to have. But at the same time, it's understanding that it's okay for other people to handle some things sometimes. So there's something going on with the way you're not communicating with your children, or something that you're keeping away from your children, or you're putting on a happy face for your children, which, I'm not saying that you should be stressed out for, but maybe, even though the kids are small, maybe they can put their toys away in the chest. You don't have to clean up everything. Maybe you can hire help to be a little more detailed, like picking out their outfits for the week. I don't know if you want to do all of that. I really don't want to get into it because maybe it's too complicated. But definitely what it's calling for here as well, I think there's a big misunderstanding between yourself and Kourtney. I'm not sure that Kourtney really fully sees your side, because this could have been a trend. I feel like you've established this as a culture, and it's been a culture for you and the whole family for you to take on all of the burden and really kind of carry the family. I'm not being disrespectful to anybody else, but it's kind of like, let's say, in the spirit of grandma who's like old, and it's Thanksgiving, and because she's been cooking all these years, it's okay for her to be even old with a bad back and arthritis in her left hand and still be the only one in the kitchen cooking. It's because the culture has been established, and people they see you handling things, and they feel like they become completely immune to any new kind of thing that you may have, and I feel like that is probably what's going on with Kourtney. I feel like if you really open up your mind a little bit more, I'm not saying you're closed-minded, because I understand the frustration here, and seeing in the cards versus her side, I really understand it. But I feel like she's really played maybe the younger sister, and so she's used to a level of being taken care of and used to you sacrificing certain stuff, but she doesn't understand the math of it. She doesn't see the math, the numbers, the strain, and the mileage. And this is where your breaking point is. So just staying in that point to really understand she doesn't see the math of it, and then really being able to really make this effort. I think you guys should definitely have someone intervene, a third party, because I do think there's some sensitivity issues that need to be brought to Kourtney's attention that she just may not be realizing, but definitely make the effort, And if you're getting triggered by making the effort, that's also really showing that you've been doing a lot more output than receiving. Maybe you have a bit of a hard time receiving, Kim, on some level. Maybe you do everything, fix everything, or the problem solver are the fixers. There's some of that trend in you, I'm quite willing to bet. So just really pay attention when you are pouring out your emotional bank account. Like, there's supposed to be an even exchange. There's supposed to be some reciprocity in relationships, you know? And if you are giving everything now, you need all the energy you need for your children. There's a lot of give there, but I challenge you to teach them to start picking up their own toys, you know, because you don't have to do everything. It feels like you're doing everything, and you will not upset the children by doing anything. In fact, you are creating independence. You're starting to create independence in them to start thinking, because God forbid, Kim, sidebar, if something were to happen, God forbid, you know, like your children who have had mommy do everything for them would, you know, have a lot less problem solving skills than a child who is learning how to even put their toys away, who's then learning how to maybe eventually pull the tomatoes out of the refrigerator so mommy can slice them, wash the tomatoes, like really learning how to respect the actual cost and effort it takes to put in mileage and time and the sweat, you know, because you're going to want, I feel like I see you having North like model in a couple more years or something like that. I feel like those things might be going on, and North can also help with her younger sisters eventually. I also feel like I get this inkling like with North as well. She's a bit rebel. So I feel like really emotional management with North really would be very, very good for her. It's not okay, it's not sorry, I just got like a big fat text message on right in my ear and right on the computer screen. So anyway, it's not something that the faster you help her to be able to manage her emotions, I feel like there's something of that there, and be able to speak it out, and also get her like into some kind of yoga or something, because she has a lot of energy, just like Kanye does. She's got a lot of and it's good energy. But if she's not allowed to have a vessel to get that out, either through yoga, through the mechanics of yoga, or through some sort of exercise, to me, yoga is the best, because it teaches you how to deal with the pressure and sensation of stuff, you know, like of feelings. You know, I need to do it a lot more myself. So I don't want to go off onto a rant, Kim. I'm really feeling this reading for you, honey. You're doing really well. Kourtney is a good person. I know you're going to make up for her. Her heart is overall in the right place. Kourtney is very sweet. She's very family oriented. Things are going to be good, but I think it's time for you as well to really start transferring some of this stuff, and also knowing that it's going to be okay. Like Tim Ferriss says, sometimes you have to take a little bit of a loss, you know, and I think it's more important your time, so you can spend time with your husband and the traveling and the things that really make your heart sing with your businesses, as opposed to, okay, I've got to cover, you know, this meeting because Kourtney didn't make it, or Kourtney to do that to you, you know, or somebody, you know, you're just taking up the slack for somebody else. So it's better sometimes if the meeting just gets missed, you know, and you really just put your all into your business, your immediate businesses, because it's now time for other people to understand the dynamics of energetics and effort. And so if an effort falls, they're going to now be able to feel it. There's no more Kim Buffer anymore. So listen, I know this reading is really long, and really good luck. I may do another reading for you, Kim, actually, and I think I will. But in any case, you guys be blessed. Kourtney, be blessed. Everybody is in a really good place. Just get a third party in there. Don't try to resolve this by yourself, I think, personally, because there's a lot to be seen and understood, and it's kind of tough when it's done from person to person or anybody within the family. It's better for a third party who help people see a certain side and see another side and go, oh my God, yeah, you know what? You're right. You know, I don't want to put in, like I was saying before, I don't want to put in 30 hours of work in a business So I'm going to pull back some of my shares to sell them to you guys or whatever, you know. Or she may say, you know what, I can take another 10 hours of work, because you know what, it is a lot for you as a mother of 3 children to also be doing these meetings. I just, she could be like, I just never, because you always did them and you always didn't make a big deal if I missed one or something like that. I don't know if that's fully true, but I just really didn't think it was a big thing, but I can see now where you're coming from. And then, also apologize to her, Kim, about that comment. We know you didn't mean it, not the way it really landed, but yeah. So in any case, you guys be blessed. We know you will do well, and we know you're a close family, and all will be well in at the conclusion. And let's get you guys together very soon. Okay? Don't wait like months, and don't fight. I hope you guys are already kind of reconciling. Talk to you. Bye.